What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? As you know, what's going on? Oh, hi, kitty. The Indianapolis Colts kicked some butt yesterday. That was fun to watch. I'm going to go ahead and share this since I'm here and live. You guys, two of you in here. Oh, wow. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Brandon? What's going on, guys? This is exciting, isn't it? Great day to be a Colts fan right now. Man, my biggest question is, do we take yesterday's game? Someone tell Rivers stop throwing it. Dude, that interception Rivers threw was not on Rivers. He threw it right into the hands of Mo Alley Cox, and Mo Alley one guy got his hand in there. The ball went through his hands, hit Mo Alley Cox in the chest, and the ball went up in the air. That wasn't on Rivers. Rivers threw a good pass. You get what I'm saying? I mean, that wasn't on Rivers at all. Rivers threw a lot of, darn near every one of his passes yesterday were dead on, perfect. Almost every single one of them. I don't have a problem with Rivers at all. At all. He's had one interception that I put on him so far this season. And that was one where the safety was breaking and he should have seen it and he shouldn't have threw that pass. It was a dumb decision trying to force that in. Oh, Julian Blackman looked awful yesterday. Okay. I'm hoping with the eye roll emoji there, Kevin, this right here, I'm hoping that is sarcasm because, quite frankly, what sucks is Hooker's gone because Hooker actually played really, really good too yesterday, right? Really good. He was making tackles. He was putting himself in the positions for interceptions. If you watched a lot of your passes, if Hooker was in the vicinity, he was going behind the pass so that if the ball was tipped, he'd have it. Okay, now I know. Kevin Sarcasm Rudge. Here we go. Awesome. Love it. Just keep bringing it because that's awesome. Ravens fan, rock me, baby. Thank you for joining on Sportscaster. And, of course, you see Felger. What's going on? Cody from Bring the Juices here in my stream. What's going on, Cody? How's it going with you, man? So here's a question. Do you take what we saw from the Colts defense week 1? Do you take what we saw from the Colts defense week 2? Or do you guys feel as though the real Colts defense is more of an in-between defense? Because quite frankly, they gave up a lot of points and high completion percentages. But going back, I'm surprised that Jaguars only had like 60, 70 yards, something like that, total offense. That's amazing that he had such high completions, but only had so little yards passing, which is telling me that, obviously the zone defense is about keeping it in front and not giving up the big play. The only problem was week 1, they weren't able to keep guys out of the end zone. Week 2, they were coming away with interceptions. They were coming away with turnovers, which was huge. There was a strip. There should have been 4 turnovers that game because there was a strip on a kick return that was blown dead in the grass. Remember that? I know, right? Okay, yeah, here we go. I hear you, dude. I hear you. Now, if a lot of you don't understand Albert Haynesworth, all right, he was a stud, all-pro defensive tackle, then got traded, went to the Washington football team, Redskins at the time, and just stunk it up. But here's the difference between Haynesworth and Buckner. Buckner has actual morals when he's on the field, right? He's not going to be stomping on people's helmets and stuff. Okay, he's a good dude who not only wants himself to succeed, but wants the guys around him to succeed too. Yeah, Leonard let that interception drop right between his hands, dude. Yes, he did. But then again, to be fair, that would have been such a tough pick, man. That would have been such a tough pick. Because he was diving already near the ground. I mean, it makes you appreciate that one interception that he had last year that he got up and ran and did the stiff arm to the ground. It made you appreciate how really good that play really was, right? So yeah, I think that the Colts defense showed a lot. What was it, PFT or PFF that came away saying that the Colts only had 3 pressures the entire night? What? 3? Dude, I counted 3 pressures in their first drive. I sat here, I was going over the replay and got to halftime, counted 12 pressures on Kirk Cousins, not including sacks. 12 pressures, not including hits. 12 pressures. Okay, there was multiple hits, one of which was Danico Autry. Yeah, that was a personal foul, if you guys remember that. I think he hit him in the head, hand to the helmet. That wasn't a very smart move on his part, dude, I think the Colts had more penalty yardage than the Vikings had offensive yardage yesterday. I mean, that's messed up, right? I mean, that's terrible. Teddy, what's going on, Teddy? Appreciate you being here also. Colts at home is turf. It's not grass. And I think that had a lot to do with Hooker's injury. I can't believe Paris Campbell just has that PCL and is only going to be gone for 2 to 6 weeks. Because, man, I rewatched that, and the way that leg bent, oh my goodness, I was for sure he was done for the season. So, amazing. Khari Willis is underrated. I agree. He still has a little bit of things he needs to work on, though. There is times that when the ball's in the air, he doesn't adjust and make the right angle for the ball. He's great against the run. He's a good tackler, but he has a little issues with the angles in the air. Honestly, I think Blackman did a lot better job in coverage than what Khari Willis, but you know, we're gonna find out because we're gonna see a lot of Blackman Willis out there, you know, the rest of the season, right, guys? I mean, that's just flat fact. That's exactly what's going to be like. So I hate to see some guy. Oh, hey, Mark Bell, USN and Elway or Highway. Welcome to the stream. Hey, by the way, you heard me say USN. I have USN after my name over here on Colts Law on Sportscaster. If you were watching this on YouTube or you are listening to this on the vodcast later on, when you get to Sportscaster, go into the search bar, type in USN. There are dozens of people from Unwrapped Sports Network on Sportscaster. Make sure you give them a follow. They cover all the sports, all the players, all the teams. Just go check them out. Find someone that covers people or teams that you like and give them a follow. I just wanted to get that out there real quick, man. So, couple things. Our secondary looked good. Eberflus did a great job of mixing pass coverage. Lots of man, lots of zone. There were times when it looked like zone and he was disguising it and it was man, and vice versa. It looked so much better than week 1. Week 1 was utterly vanilla. Week 2 looked a lot more like what you would hope that the Indianapolis Colts secondary would look like. Still not as many blitzes as I would like, but they were getting pressure. Now, is that to say that the Vikings offensive line was good, or that the Colts defensive line was just working better together now that they understand how to work with each other in their positions? Because you got to remember, DeForest Buckner's not used to working with the team, and Danico Autry is not used to working out there on that defensive end position so much. I would like to talk about that a little bit, Cody. Now, I think Taylor should have had a lot better game than what he actually had. I get he had, 111 yards or something like that. He's like 3.9 yards a carry. I think he should have had a lot more yards per carry. There were times where there were situations where he could have broke it outside, and if he had just used his speed to get to the outside, he could have turned the corner and made massive yardage. There were times like that. And I remember 3 of those plays where I felt like he could have done that. Now, with Taylor, the great thing about Taylor is, like you said, it's his second game. It's his second game in the NFL. He's going to get to understand this offense, the line, how they block, what to do, and when to do it. He's going to have a great season. Now, I'm assuming that my wife is wanting something from me. So, no?
Can I get my card?
Oh, okay.
Please.
Yep.
Call and see.
This is being recorded for a podcast, by the way, so just let me know.
Oh, you're not on like live?
Oh, I am live. We're talking right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Shoot. I'm hot.
But yeah, Jonathan Taylor, what he showed yesterday was his power, right? How many plays was there where there was plays where guys had him in the backfield, he just shedded the dude and then took off and ran into the offensive, into that wash, that defensive line, offensive line wash with the linebackers, and just powered his way through 2 or 3 people to pick up 2 or 3 extra yards. There were times, as soon as he gets contact, he would carry 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 yards extra. That's just something amazing. What's up, Avery? What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here as well. Thank you so much for being here. I think that we can do a lot. I'm very happy that Paris Campbell will be able to play. T.Y. Hilton, man, that drop in the end zone hurt, didn't it? This game should have been out of hand early, like in the first half. It should have been completely out of hand. Granted, T.Y. had the sun in his eyes. So I get it. He lost the football in the sun. Oh, well. Oh, the crazy juke from Taylor where he dusted that cornerback in the backfield. Yeah, Avery. That was a crazy juke. And he should have took off and just went straight after that. And he tried to do a little shake and bake on somebody else. I would have loved to have seen him just lowered his shoulder and just plowed through the guy. But, that first juke is amazing. Paris Campbell has a torn PCL. He's out 2 to 6 weeks. At least that is what we're looking at right now. It could be longer. But what the expectation right now is 2 to 6 weeks. If you go to my Twitter, I got a tweet out there with a video showing the angle of what his leg was compared to the rest of his body when he was hit right at the knee. I can't believe that it wasn't worse than what it was, because his cleats were stuck in the ground and did not move when his knee was hit. His upper body continued forward, his cleats stuck in the ground, and the guy's shoulder pad went right through Paris Campbell's knee. It was disgusting. We all wish him a speedy recovery. We hope he gets well. I don't want to see him on the field until he's 100%. That's just me. Granted, Paris brings so much to this offense, but at the same time, we don't want to hurt his career. We don't want to end up making him re-hurt an injury that he already has. They don't know if he's going to have surgery yet. They're going to try to just do rehab without surgery, which is why right now the expectation is 2 to 6 weeks. Malik Hooker, though, isn't it odd that both these guys, Malik Hooker and Marlon Mack, both in contract years, tear their Achilles tendon. Week 1, then week 2. And both looked good right up to the point that they had their injury the game that it happened. Hey, Avery, I believe that that was sarcasm. Where he says what's going on? High octane analysis, Colts. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here as well. Patty Whack over on Sportscaster, thank you too for being here. Hey guys, if you don't know, I run Sportscaster News over on Sportscaster. It's SPORTSCASTR. You check me out. You can see Colts Law USN or Lawrence Owen on Sportscaster. I am there twice a day, every day, doing streams covering the NFL. So I just wanted to let you know. Oh, it's Spiggity. You changed your name. Okay, Spiggity. Welcome over here, man. Appreciate you. I didn't realize. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that a lot. Guys, if you're here, smash that like button, please. Click the little share and share it to your social media. Let's get some more people out here. Let's get some more people in here so we can talk some more. Really appreciate it. Here we go. Brian says, I've been saying the player transition on this team moving like a locomotive. Like it or not, the Colts are fast ride to change. It's funny because next man up mentality has been solid over this year, right? With the amount of injuries. I mean, the NFL's had a ton of injuries. Go look at the Niners. Oh my goodness. They're lost 2 of their best offensive linemen, their quarterback, 3 wide receivers, their running back. It's awful. All on that. Yet the Colts, they lost a running back. But what did we do? We drafted a running back in the second round. Now we lost a wide receiver. What did we do? We drafted a wide receiver in the second round. We lost a free safety. What did we do? We drafted him, the third round? Blackman? Is that weird or is that just me? I mean, it's just going right down the line. We're replacing our starters that have gotten injured with the draft picks. That's kind of weird. Spiggity says Blackman will fill Hooker's shoes well. Really would like to see Hooker play the strong safeties, talented when healthy. Him and Blackman would be a killer duo. Now, the problem with that is, obviously, will Hooker be re-signed at the end of the year? I don't know. Will he take a smaller contract to stay with Indianapolis, or will another team take a chance on him and give him big money? You've noticed how a lot of safeties over the last 3 years have picked up monster contracts on other teams. I don't know. I don't know if another team will drop that kind of, because the Colts, I doubt the Colts are going to drop even $8 million a year on Hooker. And I'm thinking that another team out there probably will, man. I hope I hope that he'd be like, you know what, give me a prove it deal. You know, same with Mac. I'd love to have Mac, keep Mac around. That'd be great. I still say Rivers is a beast. There's people out there talking about how Phillip Rivers, well, he's throwing so many interceptions. Out of the 3 interceptions that he's thrown, I could put 1 on him. One was a great defensive play that the Colts never, ever saw coming. Rivers had never seen happen. One was a tipped pass that should have been caught, hit his guys right in the numbers, went up in the air, got tipped up in the air, and got intercepted. Can't put that on the quarterback. But, of course, when that safety came down in front of, I think it was Paris Campbell, he had plenty of time to pull his arm back and not throw that football, but he did anyhow. He is so accurate. Phillip Rivers right now over 2 games has the highest completion percentage in all of the NFL for starting quarterbacks. The highest completion percentage. Minshew's right behind him, don't get me wrong. But that's just, my goodness. Oh, no, Spiggity. There's a lot of people out there still says that Rivers is trash because he's got 3 interceptions in 2 games. Yeah. That's nuts. Let's actually go look at Rivers' stat line right now, actually. Because I'm telling you, right now, he's got a where are we at? Right now, he's sitting at 77.5 completion percentage and a 92.3 quarterback rating. That's pretty darn solid. 577 yards passing. He's almost averaging 300 yards a game and 77.5% completion percentage. We have never had a quarterback like that, ever. It's so nice. And like I said, the interceptions, I think they'll go away. What about, dude, what about Mo Alley-Cox? What about Mo Alley-Cox? Jack Doyle goes down to injury. He's out for a couple weeks. Trey Burton, the guy that we signed from Chicago, ex-Philadelphia Eagle, we signed to take the place of Eric Ebron, basically do the same Eric Ebron stuff, right? Athletic tight end. He's down. He's on IR. He's got at least another week to go before he can come back. Mo Alley-Cox comes in. Everybody knew, if you were a Colts fan, that Mo Alley-Cox was a great blocker. Everybody had seen glimpses of what he could do in the passing game. He ends up with what? 6 catches and 100 and some yards receiving on a breakout game? And I said before the game, expect a breakout game from Mo Alley-Cox. If you don't have him on your fantasy league, go draft him right now. He's just such a big dude. He is such a big guy, man. He's so hard to bring down. I think Zach Hicks said it best. He's like a tank once he has the football in his hand. Zach Pascal? No, people like Zach Pascal. I think people like Zach Pascal. He's a great blocker. He's sure-handed. He's not real fast, okay? He's not going to beat someone with speed. What he's going to do is he's going to win on route running and his body size and hands. All right, that's what you're going to get out of Zach Pascal. He is a good extra option. Michael Pittman made a catch yesterday that saved Phillip Rivers. Because you remember that where the pass was tipped right at the goal line, went up in the air. Michael Pittman Jr. jumped up, reached up way up in the air to catch the football and bring it in, leaving his entire body exposed for like a second and a half. He could have been crushed between 3 defenders, but he wanted to make sure that ball came in and was caught and not intercepted. Michael Pittman was right now. Expect him to get a lot more balls now that Paris Campbell's gone for a while. He is very reliable. Yeah, I like Pascal. I do. I really do. Is he a dynamic receiver that's going to take over a game? No. But he's a 3-down wide receiver. He's that receiver you want on the field when you're running the football because he can block. He's a wide receiver you want in the red zone because he's big-bodied and runs good routes and able to catch a 50-50 pass. Heck yeah. That's somebody that can be on the field at any time of the game. But let's talk about how many times the Colts ran the ball yesterday. Holy crap. Let me get to the actual stat sheet here, because it's amazing. Taylor, 26 carries, 101 yards, and a touchdown. And that touchdown, he burrowed and carried 3 people into the end zone for. Less than 4 yards carry, 3.9. Well, I think that average will go up. Jordan Wilkins, of course, had a better carry. He had 40 yards rushing. I mean, we had 150 yards rushing if you want to count the 3 yards that Phillip Rivers had. Wow. It's another 350-plus yard game offensively for the Colts against what everyone said was a decent Vikings defense, but a young secondary. Good front seven, young secondary. Colts ran the ball effectively and threw the ball very well. The only thing that hurt the Vikings is their secondary is young, a lot like the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they don't have a C.J. Henderson on their team. And Rivers was just able to pick them apart. I mean, just pick them apart. Hines never carried the football. He had 1 catch for 4 yards yesterday. Didn't get 1 carry. Paris Campbell had a carry. Wilkins had 9 carries. Jonathan Taylor had 26 carries. Mo Alley Cox led the team in receptions with 5 for 111 yards and 6 touchdowns. Pittman had 4 catches, 37 yards. Hilton had 3 catches, 28. Pascal had 3 for 19 and that touchdown. And Taylor had 2 for 9. Yeah. That's what you get. And then, of course, defensively, let's talk about TJ Carey, interception. Kenny Moore, interception. Kari Willis, interception. Darius Leonard should have had, as Cody Felger said earlier, an interception, right? And the defensive front was just looking great up there. I mean, the defensive front looked good. They were in the backfield all the time, putting pressure and hitting and sacking Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook had his plays, but when Madison came in, he was getting hit behind the line on a consistent basis. Did you guys see what my man, DeForest Buckner, did to that left guard? Did you see that clip where he did a Minister of Defense, Reggie White, got his right arm under that left guard's left shoulder in his armpit, lifted him off the ground and threw him out of his way, and then ran in and smacked right into Cousins as he let go of the football. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it was the right guard. You're right. Not left guard. Right guard. Because he was playing the nose tackle position at the time. That was just amazing. And see, that fills my heart with all kind of joy, because the guy that got me into watching football, the guy that made me excited to watch football in the very first place in the NFL, granted, I was a Colts fan, but the Colts didn't have a lot of big superstars, 83, 84, 85, 86, in the 80s period. But Reggie White, I loved defense because of Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Seth Joyner, all those guys over there on the Philly defense. Reggie White, the minister of defense. That was his move. He would put his arm up underneath people and just shove them out of the way. And Defoe did exactly that. Danico Autry still continued his night. Justin Houston still looked good. What about Tyquan Lewis showing up and getting himself a sack? Huh? Pretty sure if I remember correctly. Was that last week? I thought he got a sack. Yeah, Tyquan Lewis got a sack. Buckner got a sack and a half. And that other half a sack went with Justin Houston. So, wow. You didn't hear a lot from Anthony Walker. And I'll tell you what, there's a reason why you didn't. Because Anthony Walker was actually playing that role of take on a blocker to let the safety and Bobby Okereke and Darius Leonard make the play in the backfield. Do you remember the outside run where Leonard runs in and gets the tackle for a loss, for 2-yard loss? Anthony Walker took one of the blocks head on so that Darius Leonard could be freed up to make that play in the backfield. That's what happens. Walker and Leonard know each other really, really well. And they work with each other so that one and the other can make a play. You remember him in Green Bay. I remember him in Green Bay as well, but I mean, he was Philadelphia Eagle. That's what made him. He was a monster in Philly. He was a monster in Green Bay. Period. The sack, the safety that Buckner got, that technically should have went to Autry because he had him in the backfield and somehow Cousins ripped away from him. And as he ripped away from him, he walked right into DeForest Buckner. Oh, my goodness. Would I consider trading T.Y. to the Patriots? Ray, thanks for joining the stream. Ray is my guy on Sportscaster News. He covers the Patriots. Please don't give him much of a hard time. Actually, he does a really, really good job with the Patriots. He and I get along very, very well. Would I consider trading T.Y. to the Patriots? You think that's a great move? I'm sorry. I think T.Y. is coming towards the back end of his career, but he's still that guy I think the Colts need, that veteran presence in the wide receiving core, right? He's still got moves. As long as he's healthy, he's dangerous. But I think you need that veteran leadership. He's still got to teach Michael Pittman Jr. and Paris Campbell all the things that was taught to him by Reggie Wayne, which was taught to him by Marvin Harrison. I'm sorry, but that knowledge has to stay in-house. You get what I'm saying, right, Ray? You get what I hope so, anyhow. Jeff Swell. There you go, Ray. There's your answer. 4 first-rounders. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but there's your answer. I don't think many Colts fans would be too happy about getting rid of T.Y. Right? At least right now. Yeah, tell him to come teach N'Keal Harry. I get that. That was you need a veteran receiver out there. Can't Julian Edelman? Well, no, because N'Keal Harry's a little bit different. They're different receivers. I get that now. Yeah. I mean, technically T.Y. is a different receiver, but T.Y. knows how to play that outside very, very well. So, this defense continue to build. Right here, Avery Watkins. I can't agree more. I hope to see this defense continue to build that chemistry and become even more of a cohesive unit, and it's going to. You got to remember, we got youth on this defense. We got guys that wasn't here last year, right? We got Rhodes, we got Buckner, we got Carey. We got youth in the back. We got second-year Kari Willis safety. Now we got Julian Blackman, a rookie safety. These guys will only get better the more they play together. But Eberflus needs to keep mixing things up, right? He needs to keep. All right, Ray. I'll see you at 7 when we cover the Monday night football game tonight, Ray. Thanks for showing up, man. Matt Eberflus needs to do that. He needs to keep mixing it up, making offenses guess what he's doing. That way they can't constantly go, well, this is going to be a freaking zone defense, so we can just wait for our receivers to hit the zone and hit easy completions. Man, he was mixing it up so much with man defense. He was playing all different types of sub packages, different ways of hiding what he was doing with his coverage. He would bring a safety down to cover a wide receiver and then move a wide receiver or a cornerback over to cover the tight end, Rudolph, right? You seen that, didn't you? Malik Hooker came up, covered the wide receiver, Thielen, and then Kenny Moore moved over and covered Kyle Rudolph. And that's what happened when Cousins threw that ball deep to Rudolph, and my boy Kenny Moore just reached in there and knocked that ball down because Cousins didn't realize what was happening. So I think that there's a lot of things that Eberflus can continue to evolve this defense as he sees what this team is capable of, not only on an individual basis, but as a group with combinations between different people. Blackman's got a huge skill set. He can play corner and safety almost equal. So you can see him switching out guys right in the middle of a play and confuse quarterbacks and make them throw a ball when they think a guy is open, and yet really what's going on is there's a trade-off on man-to-man coverage, which does not happen very often. That's how Phillip Rivers threw that interception to C.J. Henderson in week 1 against the Jaguars, because there was a trade-off. And, Henderson was on Pittman, and then he cut back to give a double help on T.Y., and the safety moved over and took Pittman deep. Eberflus saw that and was like, you know what? I'm going to use that because I got the personnel that can do it. And it worked. So let's keep that going, man. The Vikings got beat by Green Bay last week, but I'll tell you what. Hold on. Let's go look at week 1 game. The week 1 game where the Packers beat the Vikings 43-34, okay? Now, remember, Green Bay's got a pretty darn solid defense, right? They have a pretty darn solid defense. And yet, Kirk Cousins was 19 of 25 for 259 yards, 2 touchdowns. And they had 134 yards rushing against the Green Bay defense. And they weren't even able to put 200 yards up against the Colts defense. That's nasty. I mean, that's nasty. They had 113 yards passing and 80 yards rushing total. So they didn't even have 200 total yards. They had 193 yards offense for a game. I think that's what the Colts had at halftime. Alan James, what's up, man? Right here. Malik out for the season. Shocking. Actually, it is a little shocking because he was pretty darn healthy last year. What's more shocking is that it's an Achilles injury. And that's the same thing that happened with Matt. And it makes you wonder, you know, are the Colts stretching? I don't know if you could do anything to help with an Achilles injury. I don't know if stretching helps prevent that or not. Tearing, usually when it comes to tendons and stuff, you want to stretch them out before you overexert them. Otherwise, you could pull or tear them. I don't know if the Achilles, because it's such a big tendon, I don't know if it's something that can be stretched out to prevent. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But I would be looking into that if I was the Colts right now and figuring out if that's something that they might be able to do to maybe help prevent stuff like this from happening to other players in the future later on this year. And Brian, I'm going to tell you, you say 100-degree turnaround on defense, but really, I mean, so they gave up 193 yards this game. They only gave up 70 more yards than that week one, right? And I get you. The difference was they weren't just playing vanilla. So, whereas Gardner Minshew knew what he was seeing on a constant basis when he was throwing the football and able to make easy completions, Kirk Cousins didn't, because it wasn't a vanilla pass defense, a vanilla coverage. That was the big difference. Also, pressure. Pressure was huge. I think that that front four, the defensive front four in the game against the Vikings, I think they felt as though they could work together a lot more. I think they got mad at each other because they didn't get enough pressure in week one. And week two, they just did a lot better. And you should look at the Jags-Titans game. I get everybody's upset over the fact that that the Colts lost to Jacksonville. But, I mean, like I said, we gave up 260 yards total offense against Jacksonville. The Titans gave up 339 yards passing to Gardner Minshew and 150 yards rushing. All right? They gave up 500 offensive yards to the Jags. The Titans did. And the Colts gave up half that. I was saying before the season started, the Jags have an offense. They ain't got much of a defense. C.J. Henderson was a surprise. They ain't got much of a defense, but they got an offense. And they showed it against the Titans. I mean, the Titans barely beat the Jags 33-30. What's up, Dirk? What's going on, my guy? Glad to see you on here. I saw Cody on here earlier. I didn't realize you was going to be on here also. Thanks for joining. So, don't worry about, this is what I'm saying, don't worry about it. You know, that loss to the Jags got an offense. No big deal. The Colts still didn't give up that much yardage. I wouldn't worry about it that much at all. I think the Colts defense will do a lot better. It'll look a lot better. They just didn't have the takeaways that they needed. That was the big thing. All right. The Colts gave the ball away twice, and didn't get any in return. And that's what hurt the Colts against the Jags. That's what hurt. To be fair, that's exactly what hurt in that game. Man, I ain't got to take a drink. My throat is killing me. So hopefully, let's see if we got anyone else on Sportscaster right now. Oh, yeah. All right, Patty Whack, thanks for joining the stream. Deep EN, Ray Rout was over here on Sportscaster as well. Luke Backman 2 on Sportscaster. Thank you guys for joining over on Sportscaster. Hey, guys, I get you. I love all of you for being here. I absolutely love all the people that show up and join in the chat. Please don't forget to hit the like button and share this stream to social media. Let other people know that we're sitting here talking about the Vikings game and we're just excited about what's going on. Which hurts? Derek Lawrence, we need to go at least 3-1 through the next 4 games. Well, Derek, let me tell you something, my guy. Let me tell you something. Do you remember when I was on your show and we were breaking down stuff? What did I say? Colts wasn't going to lose until the Ravens. I still feel that way. I mean, I get that we lost against the Jags. I don't feel like we should have, but I still feel the Colts, they have the offense and the defense to handle the Bears. I think we can handle the Lions. I think we'll be fine right up until the Ravens. And I honestly, I think against the Ravens, I think we got a team to really push them, right? As long as we don't keep getting a lot of people hurt, man. That's what's going to kill us. That's what's going to kill us. We can't be having people. That's a good question. Did Mo Alley Cox cement good argument to be a tight end 1? I think he's definitely cemented time at tight end 2. He'll still be tight end 1 this week, I'm sure. Because I don't expect the way they were talking. I don't expect Jack Doyle back this week either. And since he's on IR, Trey Burton don't come off IR until next week, possibly. So he's still tight end 1 currently. But if he has another game like he had last week, he may very well get the tight end 1 position. I think you're right. I think you bring up a very, very good point. Very good point. Excited to see a lot more Julian Blackmon with Hooker out for the year. Zach 15 Setter, thanks for joining the stream, by the way. I am upset that we had to see more of Julian Blackmon because I would rather him gotten more familiar with the defense rather than just 2 weeks of practice before he actually got onto the field and actually had to play the majority of the game because of the injury to Hooker. That being said, he played well. He played very well. I hope he stays healthy, and I hope he continues to build on what he had yesterday. So, yes, I'm excited to see what Julian Blackmon can bring, especially with him and Willis back there together. That's what I was saying, Derek. All these people saying the Vikings just suck. That's why we won, but the Vikings put 34 up against the Pack. The Vikings had talent, but we schemed and executed better. Yes. I mean, like I said, man, they had about 400 yards offense against the Packers. And the Packers got a good D. 400 yards. We didn't give up we gave up half the yardage that the Green Bay Packer defense gave up. I'll take that every day. Take that every day. We do have depth everywhere, Alan James. Players being hurt does hurt us, he says, but we have depth everywhere. But if we start suffering the way San Francisco's suffering, right? Go look at their team. Jimmy Garoppolo, Mozart, Bosa, Solomon, Kittle. 3 of their 4 top wide receivers gone. That devastates any team. Any team I don't care if it's the Ravens or Kansas City. That would devastate any team. We can't have that happen to Indy. We got to find a way, figure out why people are getting hurt, and find a way to help prevent this stuff. I don't care if it's, yeah, I know Campbell has that towards PCL phase. You're right. No, I'm hearing 2 to 6 weeks phase. I'm hearing 2 to 6 weeks that he has a PCL, but it's not torn. And it's a 2 to 6 week is what they're looking for. Unless something came up in the last hour since I started streaming. Because at that point, the last thing that I saw was that it was a 2 to 6 week recovery for Paris Campbell on a PCL. It's a PCL strain at that. And they don't know if it'll be an injury. Or they don't know if they'll need surgery. So that's good. That's good. It's, yeah, Saquon Barkley. Alan James, mentioned Saquon Barkley out too. I mean, every team right now is getting people hurt. The NFL needs to figure out what's going on, because by week 8, we're going to have a bunch of guys who ain't even on teams taking up half a roster on teams because everybody's hurt throughout the NFL that keeps up like this. O-line deserves some love. Whoa. Okay. I don't know how you do this, Derek, man. The chat's moving a little fast for me. Offensive line deserves some love this week, too. They got stuffed in the rushing department week 1, cleaned it. You see, I can explain what happened week 1. They were used to Marlon Mack, okay? They were used to blocking the way Marlon Mack likes to block. Marlon Mack and them worked together. Marlon knew how that worked. Marlon was running 6.5 yards a carry before he went down. Jonathan Taylor comes in. They don't have a whole lot of history working with each other, so they didn't know much on what Jonathan Taylor, how he liked his blocks set up. And Taylor didn't know, what's going on in front of him that well, what to look for. The more they work with each other, the better that offensive line and running back combination is going to gel. He'll know when to wait for a hole to break and when to just hit the hole when he sees it. Okay? He'll know when to wait for a block to happen and when that's not going to happen. Give him 2 or 3 more weeks and he'll get better and better and better each and every week. All right? I'm telling you, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Setter asked if I feel Walker and Leonard underperformed so far. No, by no means do I feel as though they have underperformed at all. What they're doing is they're working together. Okay. They were absolutely outstanding yesterday together. Like Walker would take on a block to free up Leonard. And he was doing that almost the entire game, okay, to free up either Leonard or a safety. Walker was out there doing that consistently, taking on a single block to free up somebody else to make the play. Walker was doing a beautiful job. He didn't get the numbers. He only had like 1 tackle. But sometimes, like I say, numbers don't show what the player's actually doing on the field. And without what Walker was doing, the plays on the field could not have happened. Yeah. Well, possibly. You say that athletes, work out on their own. But here's something else, all right? Like, a lot of tendon injuries has a lot to do with proper stretching and plenty of water. Muscle injuries has a lot to do with you need to drink plenty of water. You need to have plenty of stretching, stuff like that. before you have overexertion of that tendon or muscle. So possibly there is some things that the Colts can look into to help maybe mitigate some of these injuries that we're having. Juan Romo, thanks for joining on YouTube. Yes, we do have the number one ranked offense, at least for the next 2 hours. And, well, technically, we have the number two because right now the two teams that are playing tonight have less yards total, but they play again. And as long as the Saints give up, if I remember correctly, 114 yards, then the Colts will have the number one offense or defense in the NFL. Eddie, what's good? I really like Taylor and Wilkins, 1-2. Wilkins has earned the right to split the carry. Wilkins earned the right to split the carries last year. All right. Last year, he earned right to split carries. I think the Colts got afraid because he had fumbling issues early on in his career. I think he hasn't fumbled in a while. I think that he didn't fumble at all last year. As a matter of fact, the only running back that had any fumble last year was Nyheim Hines. So I think that, yes, I think Taylor and Wilkins will do very, very good this year. Phase. Raiders versus Saints. It's going to be a good game, though. Do you think so? When week one, when the Saints and Tampa Bay played, and I was like, the Saints are going to run away with this one. I knew they were going to run away with it. The Saints are really good against the run, too. Josh Jacobs is the backbone of that offense. And if I remember right, Ruggs is hurt and won't be playing. So Derek Carr does not have that deep threat that he wanted so badly. I think the Saints win this in a rout. Just saying. No, Alan James, he asked about number one. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. No, I think we got the number 9 offense until tonight, and then we'll see. But we're top 15 offense. Top 15 offense, guy. Didn't miss any, right? No, we didn't. Derek points out Hot Rod did not miss. Unlike the one he missed last week, this week he didn't miss any. And it wasn't just he didn't miss, Derek. He nailed them right down the middle. He split those uprights perfectly. So that's good. Oh, you didn't know that Ruggs was out. Last I checked, Ruggs was still hurt. So, yeah. Ooh, interesting. Not a Colts question, but how many people here think that Kyler Murray got MVP? I'm sorry, did you watch the game last night? Oh, my goodness. The Patriots and Seahawks. Russell Wilson is a beast. Derek agrees with me, I see now. Man, I got a nickname for Russell Wilson right now. I call him the Leprechaun because he throws the most beautiful rainbows in the NFL. There is not a quarterback in the NFL that throws a rainbow better than him. Eddie Leonard was all over the place. Our linebackers are going to get their hands on the ball a lot this year. I think so too. Absolutely. I do not disagree. Wait, Vegas? Does Vegas have fans? Are they? I didn't think they were having fans this year at all because of the COVID situation. People have been dogging you, Derek, that we will not possibly win 8+ game with the pass offense the way it is. Thoughts? I think that's a trash argument. Rivers, how can you say that? How can you say that we have a trash passing offense. Seriously. What did I just got done saying earlier? Hold on. So far for the season, he is averaging 284 yards a game passing, 77.5 completion percentage, and a 92.3 quarterback rating. He leads the NFL in completion percentage and is, I believe, second in the NFL in yards per game. How can you say he's trash? Cards offense is electric. Alan James, I believe you, and I agree. But Russell Wilson's just nasty. I think Rivers is fine. More than fine. More than fine. Alan says we're getting 10 to 12 wins, and I agree. 100% I agree. Hey, if you're watching, please don't forget, smash that like, hit the share, let other people know that we're here talking about yesterday and possibly the future of the Colts, because obviously that's what we're going through right now. If you're on, don't forget, I am also, my actual job is on Sportscaster. I cover Sportscaster news. The link is in the description of this stream. You could go in. Well, it might not be there. Yeah, I think it is there right now. You could follow me on Sportscaster under Lawrence Owen or Colts Law USN, either one. Just let you know. Win the division for sure. Yes. Now, we're kind of in a little bit of a hole, right? Because the Titans right now are 2-0, but we played the Titans twice. So, yeah. And frankly, I think the Colts will beat the Titans both times now. Oh, what Metcalf was doing to freaking Gilmore that was one of the best matchups of the year so far, was Metcalf versus Gilmore last night. Oh, my goodness. Man, they were fighting like nobody's business. We got a new guy in here I don't know. Raw Talk with JRM Podcast. Taylor is our new franchise player and is Rookie of the Year for sure. We'll see. I'm excited. We'll see. It's possible he could be. I don't know. He's on track. He's definitely getting the carries, but I want to see him with more yards per carry, more than just I think he's averaging something like 3.6 yards a carry, or 3.7, 3.8, something like that. I think it's 3.7 yards a carry right now on the season. I want to see that more around 4 or 5 at least. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Charlie Clark, I don't believe Rivers as our quarterback. Never liked him in San Diego. I feel like we should have went younger. I get that. I get that you want a younger quarterback, but right now, you got to take what we have, okay? And yes, we have a young quarterback waiting in the wings, and there's a lot of good stuff about him, but there's a lot that he needs to learn. So we need somebody there as a stopgap, right? And that's all he is, really, is a stopgap. But if Rivers wins a Super Bowl as a stopgap, great. I don't have a problem with it. I think he's doing fine, though. Buckner was dominating the game. That's the Buckner we came. yeah, that is the Buckner that we paid for, most definitely. I'll tell you what's up with Henry, and it's not Henry. Okay, you have no idea how much the Titans' loss of Jack Conklin on that offensive line hurts them, because Henry loved to go off that right tackle. Conklin was a beast in the run blocking. Kim, I wish you had not done that. So I think that that hurts. I think that hurts him badly. If you hear babies in the background, that's just my 2-week-old grandson. He's probably getting his diaper changed or something. Amen. Amen. I mean, not everybody was excited that Rivers was coming to Indianapolis, but you know what? He's here. And if we win games with him, we win games. I don't care if he's chucking it down the field or if he's just dumping it off like Ryan Tannehill does, game managing. If we win, we win, and that's all that matters to me. I just want to see us win. Eddie Hoke says that he's seen T.Y. do this. Late last season, he had 3 drops in one game. I think it was against the Texans. Right? Wasn't that Texans? That he had 3 drops in that one game? All 3 of them would have been first downs? Oh, all right, man. You just stopped in here. Also, sportscaster, just looking for a caster job. I'm sorry, my guy. I work for Sportscaster as Sportscaster News, and this is what I'm doing right now. So it's part of my job. I enjoy doing it. I'll tell you what, man. I started out writing articles, and then I went to podcasting, and then I started doing video stuff. And I just got break after break after break, being in the right time, at the right place at the right time, continually bringing out content, improving myself each and every time. And if you just continue to have faith and do the best you can, you'll land something at some point. Just keep the faith and keep going, man. Baby is no problem. Okay, I'll just letting you know. I was just letting you know about the baby crying in the background. That's all it was. Marcus Johnson may be coming to the roster this week. Maybe. I mean, we got wide receivers right now. If I remember right, Fountain just was raised up to the active 55 also. So just the other day. So I get that Campbell went down, but he was brought up before Campbell went down. Rivers proved a lot to you this week. Good. I'm glad. I feel as though T.Y. slowed down quite a bit. Look, T.Y.'s definitely got it in the tank. And we still need him. We got a young receiving core. We need T.Y. Hilton to share his wealth of knowledge as a wide receiver to these young guys. He's still good at what he does. Okay. He's still a great route runner. He's had a couple drop passes the past 2 weeks. It happens. It happens to the best of them. We watched DeAndre Hopkins drop passes in a Colts game last year. Multiple. It happens. Keith, hey, we got a new guy here. Very tiny Twinkie. Look at that. I love that picture. That is so awesome. Keys to the game versus the Jets. I haven't broke down the game yet. I haven't broke down the Jets yet. I will, and I'll have a stream about that. But on the top of my head, I would have to say get all over Sam Darnold. That's what I would say. I would say bring all the pressure you can against Sam Darnold because I think that's probably your best bet. Oh, I'm not. Yeah. You said that Johnson can play. Oh, I know Marcus Johnson can play. I know he can. I just don't know if we need him quite yet. We'll see, though. That's what I just got done saying. Dominate the trenches. If you're dominating the trenches, you're getting pressure. Rivers will not be super flashy, but he makes throws with touch. That Brissett just doesn't. Yes! Brissett can throw a foot. Brissett's got two problems as a quarterback. Two problems. I'm sorry, Derek, I'm going to drop this because that's a big thing. Brissett has two problems. One, anytime he throws to a football to a guy who's not a wide receiver, he still throws it just as hard as though he's throwing it to a wide receiver 25 yards away. Okay? You can't throw a laser beam at your running back 5 yards off to your left and expect him to catch and run with it. You need to give him a catchable pass so he can catch and run. Rivers does that exceptionally well, has done that well his whole career. He's a lot like the way Andrew Luck was good at doing that. The other thing Brissett did not do well was lead a receiver in a route. Brissett threw it at a receiver. He did not throw to where the receiver is going to be when he passes the football. He throws to where the receiver is now. Rivers knows how to lead a receiver, and that gives yards after catch, and that is what one of the two things the Colts have been missing for the last 3 years. Yards after catch, and tying into that, running back screenplays. And Rivers is the perfect quarterback for that. Just in the season. That's dirty. That's dirty, Brian. That's dirty. JETS, just in the season. That's messed up. There's still an NFL football team, Brian, any given Sunday. I don't expect the Jets to go 0-16, just like I didn't expect Miami to go 0-16 last year. I mean, and I'm telling you what, Sam Darnold is the real deal. He is a good quarterback. He is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He just does not have any help around. He is the Matt Stafford of the Jets, okay? Only this year, Stafford has help. But previous years, he did not have help. Brian asks, how do the Colts fix the red zone scoring issue? Easy. And I'll tell you how to do it. Don't wait until you're inside the 10-yard line or inside the 5-yard line to try to score. If you're from 20 to 10, throw it at the end zone. That gives you more room to spread out routes, more room for receivers to get open. Take that chunk touchdown. Until the blocking schemes and stuff are squared away between the offensive line and Jonathan Taylor, where you feel as though you can run 3 and 4 yards consistently inside the 5, like that one touchdown run. Until that happens, start throwing it from the 10 to 15 yard line or 10 to 20 yard line, because that spreads the field out more and gives you a lot more room for your receivers to get open. That's how you do it. Alan James, do I think the Colts will beat the Ravens? Well, you'll find out, because I think the Colts have the team to beat the Ravens. I think they'll give them a heck of a game. But I'm not quite ready to say they will. Have you seen the Ravens this year? They look pretty damn good. Pardon my halfway French word there. The Colts need to improve a little bit in a few areas before I can and be consistent in that before I say, the Colts will beat the Ravens. But we still have some weeks left before we run into them. So we definitely have the opportunity and the ability to improve before we get there. Interesting question here. Do I believe the Colts, from Derek Larger, do I believe the Colts would have been better suited with Cam Newton? Or do you feel the Bills system just made him better than what it... Wait, I'm all mixed up right now. Are we talking about Josh Allen or are we talking about Cam Newton? Because you said Newton and Bills. And Cam Newton is on the Patriots. So I'm kind of... Oh, there's no apostrophe there. I got you. Okay, now I get it. No, I don't think it's Bill's system. I think it's Josh McDaniels' system. All right. That I'm going to tell you that right now. Josh McDaniels was pounding the table for Cam Newton when off-season started, but he could not get him to come in and do a workout to make sure that he was fully 100% back from his injuries. Until they were able to bring him in and work him out and make sure that he was 100% healthy, they couldn't sign him. Josh McDaniels wanted Cam Newton because they wanted to completely flip the script from what Tom Brady had. You know, Cam Newton is a better suited quarterback for the current New England Patriots than what Tom Brady is. Because Cam can run the football, extend the play, Tom Brady can't. Okay? The wide receivers need that extra time to get open at times. Cam Newton throws a much harder, faster pass in order to get it in tight windows. Tom Brady isn't able to do that. He's accurate. Tom Brady, accurate as heck, can break down the defense like nobody's business and put people in position, but he just doesn't have the arm strength or the legs that the Patriots needed at that time. And that's why I believe Cam is actually doing a lot better this year than what a lot of people feel. It's all good. It's all good, Derek. I understand. Does that explanation that I just gave make sense? Because I've been saying that since, I kid you not, March. I was saying if Cam Newton goes to the Patriots, I'm going to be so ticked off because it'll make the Patriots it'll continue the dynasty. How pumped was I when Tyquan had that sack yesterday? He's been putting it on. We've heard all training camp. Tyquan Lewis is showing out, but we weren't seeing it in the games until yesterday. I'm glad to see that we finally saw that. Yes, I am very glad. He could have, but again, there's a reason why Rivers is with the Indianapolis Colts, and that's because he knows the system. Both the offensive coordinator and Frank Reich, both Nick Sirianni and Frank Reich both know Rivers, and Rivers knows them. He knows the system. So it was an easy transfer from one place to another. Okay? That's why they got Rivers. If Rivers was not available, I would have been pounding for Cam Newton. I won't disagree with that at all. All right. All right. I was worried about the tight end going into it, but Mo Alley-Cox shot. And I told you he was going to shine. How many people here follow me on Twitter? Because I'm telling you, I was posting it. If you have Mo Alley-Cox, if you do not have Mo Alley-Cox on your fantasy league, draft him right now. Start him because he's got big hands. He's a big target. He's more athletic than many people give him credit for. And the fact that he can block means that he's going to be on the field a lot. He was actually on the field less than I thought he was going to be. All right. Am I surprised that Blackman was able to contribute so soon with success? Asks Gary Thompson. I'll be honest. Frankly, yes, I was very impressed. When that player tried to leapfrog him and he didn't finish out his low hit and he was able to stand back up and make that guy fall basically flat on his back, big play, huge play, did a great job. I think Blackman's still going to take time because, I mean, like I said, he's only had like 2 weeks to work with the Colts. So he will get better as the season moves on. How do I feel about the media making this all about the Vikings and not about the Colts, talking like the Vikings were so bad they lost and the Colts were actually good? Let them. Here you go. Let them underestimate the Indianapolis Colts. Keep the Indianapolis Colts under the radar. That way other teams can have the Indianapolis Colts under their radar and they will not prepare properly. Now, when the Colts go in and beat the Ravens, let's say the Colts do beat the Ravens, okay? Let's just say that. And the Ravens are undefeated at that point. Let's just say that. Hypothetically. No amount of excuses would say that the Ravens just played bad. I think I would rather the Colts stay under the radar for the first half of this season. All right, because I would like to at least get by the Ravens before they start getting well known. That's just my personal opinion. And then they could start getting some recognition. But you're going to hear that, Derek. Guys, you're going to hear that, especially after the Colts lost to the Jaguars. Even though the Jaguars threw up 500 yards against the Titans defense and daggone near beat them, it don't matter. That's just how people are going to think. Will we continue to see? Yes. If we continue to run the ball 30 times a game, yes. Don't get me wrong, I love Hilton. But Pittman and Pascal's the best run blocking wide receivers we have right now. So yes, I believe so. Even though Pittman had some bad blocking penalties on him last night. We had a lot of calls against the Indianapolis Colts. Bad blocking, false start. Braden Smith had a bad game. When it comes to penalty-wise, he had a bad game. Colts wanted Mo, and that's what they got. And Alan says, that's pretty funny. And it is. That's pretty funny. Did you know? Okay. So most of you probably know Mo Alley-Cox is a VCU basketball player. And there's a chant because he was known for blocking shots. So anytime a shot got blocked by Mo Alley-Cox, the stands and the crowd would chant, Mo says no. And that kind of works with football, right? Because he's blocking. And he's saying Mo says no, not let the defender get to the ball carrier. So in my opinion, I think that's a chant that the Colts could say when Mo Alley-Cox is on the field blocking for the run game or for the pass game, either one. Good question by Gary Thompson. Patman didn't dress this week. Do you think that might change this week? And that is why I don't think Marcus Johnson will make the 53, as opposed to what the question was earlier about Marcus Johnson making the 53. Because Patman already is. And yes, because Paris Campbell's out. Wait, sorry. I'm stupid. I mean, My brain got all kind of screwed up there for a second. Just for a moment, I started to get confused. But yes, Desmond Patman is the wide receiver. So yes, I think he suits up because Paris Campbell's out. Because he'll bring that speed that Paris Campbell was providing previously. You might even see him play a little bit of slot once in a while. Colts do have to get the penalty. Avery, 110%. I think they had more penalty yardage than the Vikings had offensive yardage. It was bad. It was bad. Hey, Derek, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you being here. It means a lot. I'm glad. I know that you guys can't always join my show all the time, but the fact that you did this time really makes me happy. Thanks a lot. You and Derek both. Alan asked, was Antonio Gates a basketball player? Yes. A lot of these big time tight ends were basketball players, right? A lot of them were. The tight end, Jimmy Graham, pretty sure he was a basketball player. Everybody's saying bye to Derek. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think Patman could end up making probably make the dressed 48, because we have 55 people, if I remember correctly, on the roster, and you can only dress 48. So I think there's a good possibility with Campbell hurt and gone for 2 to 6 weeks that you might see Patman actually dress for a few games. Yes, he did. Mo Alley-Cox had more receiving yards than all the Vikings wideouts. All of them. Yes, Luke Rhodes. You should have known that. I thought you knew that we had Luke Rhodes on the team. Special teams player. He didn't down it. He's not the one that downed it, if I remember right. He's the one that knocked it back into the field of play and kept it out of the end zone. And the safety, number 30. What is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. Oh, no. Now my phone's going off. It's telling me I need to get ready to do my nightly work. Ladies and gentlemen. George Odom. There it is. George Odom's the one that downed it. Luke Rhodes knocked it back into the field of play, and George Odom downed it right there at the 1-yard line. And then 4 plays later, after a penalty, Danico Autry broke through the line out of nowhere, grabbed Kirk Cousins. Cousins somehow got out of the grass just to walk right into the waiting bear hug of DeForest Buckner. Avery Watkins says, thanks for what you do. I respect and appreciate your game knowledge. Thank you so much, man. Either Wednesday night or Thursday morning, I will have another film room on Sportscaster. They will all be out on Sportscaster first for at least a couple days, exclusively on Sportscaster. So if you want to see them first, you got to go to Sportscaster and give me a follow. That way you're notified when they get on there. But every Wednesday night or Thursday morning, whenever the All 22 comes out, I do a stream, a breakdown on someone specific. Last week, it was about Rivers and the fact that he actually had a better game than what most people thought. This week, I don't know yet because I haven't broke the film down to find out. And you're talking about the down the ball at the 1-yard line, and that's why they was pumped and they got that sacked. Abso-freaking-lutely. So, guys, I have to jump off here. Eagle season. What's up, man? Google user, 2 games, 0 jump balls, Pittman, especially red zone. Yeah. I want to welcome you, Google user. I get it. 0 jump balls to Pittman. There hasn't been need. There's been receivers that were actually open. And Rivers would rather throw to an open receiver than throw a 50-50 ball. And then down in the red zone, they've just been trying to run the ball too much. I would rather see a Pittman throw from like the 15 than, say, the 5 on a fade. But, guys, I want to say Eagle season. What's up, Eagle season? Appreciate you being here. I want to say, guys, I got to get off here because I got 15 minutes to get ready because I got my job on Sportscaster that I have to do. I got to do NFL news and cover tonight's Monday Night Football game, Raiders and the Saints. But thank you, everyone that was here with me today. Please hit the like button, share my stream, subscribe. Please subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That way you're and hit the notification bell so you're notified next time I go live. I am losing subscribers, actually. I've lost 2 subscribers today, and I don't know why. But I just want to let everybody know. I'll be bringing out every Monday, 5 p.m., every Friday, 5 p.m. I do these live shows. Mondays, post-game reviews. Fridays is the preview of the game coming up. Usually have someone to talk to break that game down. I want to thank everyone for being here. It was such a great, fun time talking Colts. Very exciting win against the Minnesota Vikings. And I hope to see you guys Wednesday for my film breakdown, which I do live. And if I don't see you then, hopefully I see you Friday for my pregame show against the Jets. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law. And as usual, I want you have a good one.